tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Good afternoon once again. I'm Barbara Bailey. In our news, he was an icon in Kentucky politics. Former governor and U.S. Senator Wendell Ford died today at the age of 90. He's being remembered for his 30 years of service to Kentuckians this afternoon. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Frankfort now. It's our top story at 12:30. Phil?
Wendell Ford was obviously a very key figure in the Kentucky Democratic Party, but I am told by those that knew him best that he prided himself in serving all Kentuckians. Whether he was a governor or a U.S. senator, Ford went from lieutenant governor to U.S. Senate, serving in the U.S. Capitol from 1974 to 1999. Attorney General Jack Conway called him a lion of a public servant with the heart and kindness of a lamb. His former lieutenant governor, and now state senator Julian Carroll called him a true public servant who always put people first. State Representative Tom Birch served with Ford in the legislature.
I can't think of a more dynamic person that I served with, other than what I said about John Y. Brown, is that he was a credit to Kentucky. He was the kind of guy that Kentucky was his whole life.
Ford retired in 1999, but since then he has worked as a mentor and guiding others seeking political office. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Now, the senator had been undergoing chemotherapy for lung cancer in his hometown of Owensboro. Two families need to find a new place to stay after a car hit an apartment building. A driver somehow lost control and slammed into the corner of the building at Yellowstone and Alumni Drive this morning. Firefighters have been working to secure the walls. Investigators aren't sure right now what caused the driver to lose control. We're tracking the search for a robber who held up a check cashing business. It happened at the Cash Express off Lexington Road in Versailles. Police say a man came in after an employee opened for the day, showed a gun, and demanded cash. Police say the robber took off in this dark-colored Suburban. He got away with money and a cell phone. Several families had to leave their homes overnight because of a fire. It started around 3:30 at an apartment building on Edgewood Drive in Nicholasville. WKYT's Victor Puente talked with one of the victims who credits his daughter with saving them.
One of the people who lived in this apartment building told me he and his family got out because his daughter noticed smoke coming into her bedroom. Firefighters say it was the apartment above his where that fire started.
She said, Daddy, she said, the apartment got smoke in it.
Charles Thomas, his wife, and 3 children were in one of the bottom apartments here on Edgewood Drive when that fire started around 3:30.
It was coming out the top building over here. It was bad. It's pretty bad, yeah.
The owner of the building told me firefighters said it appeared to have started in a laundry room. It was most likely electrical. Firefighters told us there were 2 people inside the apartment where it started. They were able to escape, and paramedics checked them out at the scene. The owner said 2 of the apartments would require major repairs, but the other 3 should be livable by next week. Thomas told me he was impressed that firefighters were able to keep the flames from spreading to his apartment.
They worked pretty quickly. So, you know, if it weren't for them, man, all of us probably been dead right now.
For the next few days, the Red Cross will be helping the people who lived here find places to stay. In Nicholasville, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Now, because of freezing temperatures, firefighters had to deal with ice forming on the road. City workers were called in to salt the area. We have big changes in the forecast as we head closer to the weekend. They include the potential for snow. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is here with an early check of the forecast. Micah.
Well, you would think it would be going on outside right now. We have the cloudy skies, chilly conditions, but nothing's really falling out of the sky here at this moment. You can see in the northern zone sitting there in the mid-30s, and that goes for a lot of locations. Down toward the southern zones, we're actually in the 40s for some spots. And 24-hour planner, it's much cooler today than it has been the past 5 days. 40 degrees the rest of the afternoon, and you will have some peaks here and there, but I think for the most part, we'll just call it cloudy skies. Off into the evening, into tomorrow morning. Kids will have no problem getting up, going to school. Rain's on out of the way. Snow's not there yet. Now, as we go throughout the day, I think the rain really moves in toward the afternoon, especially in the southern zones, and then it really becomes widespread as we work our way in the late afternoon, off into the evening hours before switching over to snow This is a big system. A lot of cold air on the north side of the system, a lot of warm air on the south side. 2+ inches for all the southern states, the Gulf states. And then that's of rain, that is. On the north side, that's where you get the snow. That's where we will be. How much are we expecting? Well, I'll show you that coming up in about 10 minutes.
Micah, thank you. A state senator is asking a judge to dismiss the DUI case against him. State police arrested Brandon Smith in Frankfort earlier this month. They say he was speeding and smelled of alcohol. Smith made the request to drop the case based on a part of the state constitution saying state lawmakers can't be arrested while going to and from the legislative session. Smith's arraignment was postponed while the judge and Commonwealth's attorney review the motion. The statute was ratified in the 1800s. Republican James Comer officially filed to run for governor this morning. Comer is currently serving his first term as agriculture commissioner. He's been raising money since September, along with State Senator Chris McDaniel of Northern Kentucky. Today marks the official start of his 2015 campaign. Well, the number of confirmed flu cases in Lexington continues to grow. The Lexington-Fayette County Health Department says the total is now at 116. This time last year, there were just 54 cases. Kentucky has widespread flu activity. Now, as of last week, the state reported 32 flu deaths across Kentucky. A judge gave a carjacking suspect a $250,000 bond today, calling him a danger to others. William Sellers made his first court appearance on kidnapping, theft, and wanton endangerment charges. Investigators say he carjacked a minivan with a disabled man inside after shoplifting cigarettes in Newport yesterday. Sellers is back in court next Thursday. Kentucky's jobless rate dropped to a 7-year low in December. The rate was 5.7% in December, down from 6% in November. This is the lowest rate for the state since February 2008, when it was also 5.7%. Nationally, the jobless rate dropped from 5.8% in November to 5.6% in December. A Lexington Kroger reopened this morning following a major renovation. UK coach John Calipari cut the ribbon on the new Euclid Kroger at 8 this morning. The UK band and cheerleaders joined him for the big event. Now, this Kroger has unique features, including rooftop parking and more U-scans than most stores. It's only been open 6 months, but a Kentucky outlet mall is already planning an expansion. The outlet shops of the Bluegrass in Shelby County plans to add several thousand extra square feet. A spokesperson for the mall tells us it's too early to say which stores might be coming. If the state approves the plan, the new stores could be open by Christmas. The reason experts are rethinking how much screen time is safe for kids and a possible health risk linked to birth control pills. Ebony Williams has details in this Better Living report.
Using birth control pills for 5 years or more may increase the risk of developing a brain tumor. Researchers in Denmark studied women between the ages of 15 and 49. They found long-term use of hormonal contraceptives may raise the risk of a rare brain tumor. But oral contraceptives may actually lower the risk of other cancers. If you're not getting 2.5 hours of moderate activity a week, you're not alone. Researchers in Britain say the current physical activity recommendations are out of reach for many adults. They suggest focusing on smaller increases in daily activity. And do screen time guidelines for kids need to change? The American Academy of Pediatrics currently recommends children under 2 have no screen time, and kids over 2 limit their exposure to less than 2 hours a day. Australian researchers say with the use of devices surging and students doing more schoolwork online, staying within those limits may not be possible. Those are some of the day's top medical stories. Ebony Williams, CBS News, New York.
And there's much more to come on WKYT News at 12:30. The inspirational story of a Corbin native is now available in stores nationwide. We'll talk with Travis Freeman and tell you how you can get your DVD of 23 Blast. And dogs aren't the only pets who need fun. Find out how to create the perfect home for your cat.